They say I might as well face the truth, but I am just too long in the tooth. So I'm an OAB and weak B, but I'm not yet quite gone to sea. I may be over the hill now that I have retired, fading away, but I'm not yet expired. Clapped out, run down, too old to say, 1 foot in the grave.
Sorry, Mom? Oh, right. She wants to attack all your men in Japan with 2 dice from Mongolia.
Where's the sooty egg cup?
Oh, sorry.
Double 4.
Double 4 to beat this time, Mum. Oh, hang on a minute. She's dropped her dice in the Germaline. Have you got it now? Right. No. He got a double 4. Yes. Double 5.
What a surprise. How very convenient. I never have guessed.
What's that supposed to mean?
How do we know what she's doing, sitting over there in Kettering with her own board encounters? This is the way the Third Reich started.
With a sooty egg cup?
She's conquered more countries since the Archers finished than Hitler did in a lifetime.
No, it's nothing, Mum. Just Victor coughing up an opal fruit. You want to go into the kill and wipe him off the board?
Don't encourage her.
Awful when someone's a bad loser.
I know.
Who's a bad loser? You wrap up and get on with your knitting. Right, 1 army left. 5.
5. 6.
Well, that's that then. That's me blasted off the board for the 3rd game running by the Allied forces of Mini Crun. I don't know why I bother.
Right, it's my turn, Mum. Hang on while I get the... Oh, right. It's just going to the loo now.
So when's he due to have his leg off?
Friday morning. All being well. I'm glad to see the back of it. 7 weeks with that monstrosity.
Oh, someone's written something on it. I can't quite read it.
Nothing of any importance.
West Ham Wonkers. What's that made of?
Let's go and get some ice.
That was when he fell asleep in the park last Saturday afternoon. There was an obscene drawing of Salman Rushdie on his shin. But it came off with some lemon pledge.
It's been a real episode, hasn't it?
Oh, what with one thing and another. How anyone can break their leg buying a shirt in Millets is beyond me. But after about the first 3 weeks, he did just about manage to get used to it. You know, till the itching started. Drove him totally mad for 4 or 5 days. He had fuse wired down it, God knows it. In the end, it got so bad, we had to go back up the hospital to get some expert advice.
And that's when they found it.
Doctor said it was one of the rarest things he'd ever known. For someone to have an ant's nest down their plastic bag. There was no question about it. You could see them all scuttling in and out of the flies on his underpants. I just put it down to the hot weather, you know. Anyway, we put a blob of nipple on the fleshy part of each of his thighs, and that seemed to do the trick for him. But I tell you, Jean, never again.
So, you think it's a good moment yet?
Sorry? Oh, yes. When he comes in again, ask him now.
Right.
Sounds as if she's fallen asleep in there again. I think I'll ring back later. So, anyhow, Jean, how's it all shaping up? Have you found anyone yet to play that other part in your nativity production?
Not yet, no.
Look at this. Half a bloody rainforest in here. The ideal Christmas gift. This superb reproduction 200 years old antique commode. What do they use for toilet paper, the Dead Sea Scrolls?
As a matter of fact, we were wondering if you'd be interested, Mr. Meldrew.
Interested in what?
In playing one of the parts for us in this year's nativity.
Oh, depends what the part is.
It's the back half of a cow.
Oh, so it's not just any old pod.
Oh, no, not at all. As I say, Mr. Gosling from the chip shop was originally down for it. Then he backed out because he was afraid of looking stupid. And that's when we thought of you. And especially after last year, when you were so good as the king of the toadstools. I reckon you'd be a natural.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm not spending 2 hours bending over with my head stuck up someone else's... King of toadstools? What are you talking about?
Last year, when you played that giant toadstool in Babes in the Wood.
Giant toadstool? I never played a giant toadstool.
What was it then, a giant mushroom?
It wasn't a giant mushroom. It wasn't any form of champion fungus of any kind. It wasn't in Babes in the Wood. I didn't even see the bloody thing.
Well, it had your walk. And it's not often you see a toadstool that round-shouldered. Are you sure it wasn't you?
Oh, for
Oh,
goodness
you might as well
sake.
save your breath, Jean. You'll get nothing out of him till after Christmas. It's a waste of time trying. He won't even have a tree in the house this year. Refuses point blank.
Oh, you've got to have a tree in the house, Mr. Meldrew, for Christmas.
What for? So you can tie chocolate rabbits to them and watch them melt under the lights? They can drip all over the carpets and dry up like miniature cowpats. It's not even Christmas anymore. It's just a 4-month trade fair organized by retailers and advertising agencies. Yes, what better way to celebrate the birth of Christ than by filling your intestines up with Newbury fruits? I rather fancy having every bone in my body crushed to a pulp today. Perhaps I'll go down W.H. Smith's and spend 5 minutes in the book department.
So you don't want to, then?
What?
Play the back half of a cow. It's only for one night, and you could swish your tail about with a concealed wire.
No!
Nope, I haven't a clue. I did think he could do with a new watch. The one he's got's always slow. But he seems to like it that way. He says time goes far too quickly as it is. Well, what did you get him last year? Oh, well, no, I wouldn't get him that again. The condition's nearly healed up now. Well, I don't know. I have been racking my brains for a month, and I can't think. We've ordered a capon this year. We thought it might not be quite so dry.
That's great, Aunt Joyce. Tell her on no account I want 3 more jars of petroleum jelly wrapped up in the form of a Christmas cracker.
Yes, dear, and he sends his love. Okay, I'll speak to you soon. Bye. Who can that be? The postman's already been. You'll have to make yourself a fresh pot of tea.
Haven't they done anything about this pressure yet? Better cancel the plumber. They're the specialist in geriatric bladder disorders. God almighty. That wind's getting up again. They said in the radio we might be in for another hurricane. Who was that? Too much to expect it was a plumber, I suppose.
No, it wasn't a plumber. I think it was some sort of delivery driver. I think he must just have rung the bell and then left.
Delivery driver? Delivering what? Margaret, delivering what? Look, I don't want to debate about it. I know what I ordered. I've got the document in front of me now. I quite specifically ordered 1 Excelsior Garden Gnome, catalogue number 263. I must have put it in the wrong column. It only takes a bit of common sense. What could I possibly want with 263 bloody garden gnomes in the first place? Pressure in Munchkin land out here. 3 months I've been waiting for this order. I wanted 1 gnome by the front door, allowing a bloody population explosion. What? I don't... She says we've got to fill in one of the return order chitties and send them back as unsatisfactory goods. And any of the items that are even slightly damaged will be charged for.
It's too blown over already! If we leave them out here, the whole lot will go for a burden! down a bit out there now.
The telephone line's still out of action.
Yes. Said on the local news, a lot of people have had their electricity cut off. Might have to do without all over Christmas.
Well, at least they won't have to watch television. Sit through all that festive tripe. Oh, Cilla Black, can you imagine a fate worse than death?
She's got a very infectious laugh.
So does a hyena with anthrax. I might try that new video place tomorrow on my way back from the hospital. See if they can do anything worth... What the hell are you grinning at? Will you get away from me? Like sleeping in bloody Snow White's cottage.
I had a word with Eileen's husband. He said for 20 quid he could run them back to the warehouse on his truck, but it won't be until Wednesday morning.
Oh, I'll be glad when it's all over. I will straight. All the miseries in the world seem 100 times worse at Christmas. Oh, I suppose it was always the same. I don't suppose there was ever any magic in it. Only in old films with Jimmy Stewart. Never in real life. What do you want for Christmas?
A set of razor blades to slash my wrists with. God almighty, you're in a bright mood all of a sudden. If it's that much of an ordeal, you needn't bother.
I told you before, you needn't go splashing out for me. You won't worry me if I don't get anything.
All right, then. I won't.
You know what we said last year? It's only a ritual. If we both agree not to buy anything, it'll avoid any worries and there won't be any disappointments.
Fine by me.
Fine, then.
Right. We'll require 3 pieces of identification plus an official document such as a driver's license bearing your normal signature. There's a £60 deposit and the rental charges are from £1 to £2.50 daily. All tapes are to be returned by 7:30 prompt, after which a further £2 is payable, plus a 50p surcharge should you forget to rewind the tape.
Right. Here's my birth certificate. Here's a document containing my normal signature. Here's a document containing an abnormal signature written whilst wearing a boxing glove. Here's a cheque for the required amount. And here's a pound of my flesh. As I realise I must forfeit at any time, but I haven't been talked through in the film.
I'll go and put this onto hard disk. Your card then, Mr. Meldrew.
Thank you. Can I ask, do these film categories you have here mean anything at all? I mean, look at this, under family. The cook, the thief, his wife and the lover, and confessions of a werewolf prostitute. I don't know what sort of family you belong to. I mean, you've got Santa Claus the movie under horror. Fair enough. But under children's, you've got Nightmare on Elm Street 3 and The Blob.
It's how people put them back on the shelves. I haven't got time
Yes,
to go
suppose
around...
your little kiddies think this is jolly good fun, do they? Watching some decomposing corpse sucking people's blood out like a carton of Ribena? I suppose this is an ideal bedtime story in your house, is it? 2 hours of some bloke with a roasted face going loopy with a chainsaw?
What sort of film exactly were you after?
I don't suppose you've got angels with dirty faces.
Who's in it?
A little-known actor called James Cagney. He's very big these days, the back half of a cow. Well, anyway, perhaps in that case I'll have Arnold Schwarzenegger and Ragtag and Blob too. That is what the apartment comes in. Thank you for your help. Good morning.
How'd it go? All right?
Yes, fine. They've got this machine that they just go right down the plaster.
Still a load of leaves and stuff out the front I haven't cleared yet. If you're looking for a job.
Yes, all right.
Oh. Thank you very much, Great Aunt Joyce. I wonder what it is. A bottle of something nice, or 5 more jars of petroleum jelly. Oh, wonders will never cease.
How goes it, Mrs. Meldrew? Are you winning?
Oh, good morning.
We have met Tom Croker. I'm Pippa's father.
Oh.
I'm just... Oh, dear. Forgive me, I've got a streamer coming on, I think.
Bless you. It sounds as if you ought to get back indoors.
I'd love to. I'm afraid I've just locked myself out of the wretched house.
Oh, no. Is there no one else in?
They've both gone shopping. Patrick very kindly let me come over today to use his computer. I just popped out the front of the car. The door slammed shut.
Dear. Excuse the news. It's a bit of a story.
You're very kind, Mrs. Meldrew. But what have you got here? Plain truth? War cry? 4 copies of Watchtower. Your husband a man of strong religious beliefs?
Well, he strongly believes in castrating Jehovah's Witnesses. I don't know if that counts at all.
Time of year, Mrs. Meldrew. Lot of it about. Good morning to you. You must be Mr. Meldrew, Tom Croker.
Yes?
I am sorry to disturb you like this. I won't need to impose upon you too long, I'm sure. It's just that
I'm sorry, I'm really not interested.
Yeah, but I was like you, stranded on the outside without a key. Happens all too often, doesn't it?
Yes, I know. How much are the magazines?
I beg your pardon?
30p, is it? To cover the cost of the printing. Here we are. Very kind of you to call. Thank you very much. I'll read this later. Happy Christmas to you.
Mr. Meldrew, I'm sorry. I ought to explain
Yes,
the
another
reason
time.
that I'm
I'm
really
really
here.
very busy. Thank you very much indeed. Goodbye. What are these ruddy people? You call them with I should be inside.
Victor? It isn't that Victor doesn't believe in God. It's just that they haven't been on speaking terms lately. Perhaps you could put in a good word for him.
That won't be very easy, I'm afraid. You see, Victor may, but I'm afraid I don't.
Don't what?
Believe in God.
Sorry?
I don't believe in God. Of course, I used to believe in fairies and elves once upon a time. Used to believe in the SDP's economic policy. I'm afraid this last year I've had the most terrible crisis of faith. Everything crumbled. After 40 years ministering, it was most unnerving, I can't tell you. That is why this will be my last Christmas with the church. On January the 1st, I'm leaving to go and work in resins.
Resins?
Yes. Rising new company has offered me a position on the board. Very handsome salary. My time of life, it was manna from heaven. Oh, no, I can remember quite clearly when I first discovered God. It was September the 4th, 1951, and then I lost him again one day last summer. Woke up one morning in July, and he was gone.
Make him sound like a hamster.
Grieves me more than I can say, but I have to go with my conscience. Faith is absolute or it's nothing at all. And when I look around and try to explain to someone like Mrs. Burridge, the young mother, barely 30. most devout and reverent of Christians, a little boy aged 6. Last Monday, her husband left the house to fly to Munich on a business trip. He was going to be away 7 days, come back on Christmas Eve, so they could all attend midnight mass together. He never even got to the airport. The car collided with a petrol tanker, and he was burnt alive at the steering wheel. Words of comfort come hard, Mrs. Meldrum.
Well, there isn't much you can say, is there?
Pitiful to see a woman with her appetite for living so absolutely crushed. And yet from somewhere she finds the strength to carry on with her life, which can't be easy. Working in that video shop all day long, dishing out death and destruction to amuse the masses. Perhaps you know her. It's quite near here, corner of Hogarth Avenue. Young girl with long blonde hair.
No, but then I very rarely go in this shop. Hello. Sounds as if they're back. Yes. Oh, you can get back to your computer now.
Oh, I am so sorry to be a bit morbid. Goodbye, Mr. Meldrew. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
It's lovely to
I
meet you.
don't usually go around spreading doom and gloom in other people's houses. Goodbye. Very Merry Christmas. Goodbye.
Don't, whatever you do, just don't.
All right, then. I won't.
I don't know why I agreed. I said I wouldn't do it. I swore I wouldn't do it.
Well, why did you do it then?
Nothing short of a complete, total public humiliation in front of 500 cackling crows in the woman's right hour. Tyranny play was more like the gospel according to the Marx Brothers.
If I get any of that before you guzzle it all back.
Swallow all my pride, every last ounce of dignity to dress up as the back half of a cow, and what do I find? The costume department's lost the front half. But not to worry, Mrs. Prouse to the rescue, with the front half of a giant rabbit left over from Easter. With any luck, no one will notice a difference.
That's not a bad drop of plunk for Great Aunt Joyce.
Ended up lumbering around the crypt like the results of some horrible vivisection experiment.
I'm still peckish. You want to heat up the rest of that bubble and squeak before we go to bed?
And that was a moving moment, wasn't it? When the angel of the Lord came down and said, "Bugger me, what the hell's happening here?" I've never seen such a cheapskate production. The three wise men were all cardboard cutters. I suppose you noticed that. Half the audience thought the stable was being invaded by the pirates from Captain Pugwash. And you would have thought that at least they could have found a child's doll or something as a baby Jesus. That was the absolute limit. A marrow wrapped in swaddling clothes.
Oh, for goodness sake, shut up going on and on about the bloody thing. You've made your point. It was a complete disaster. Now let it rest. Who's that at this time of night?
I'm pleased with them under the matters for life. I am straight.
Hello, love. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
We heard you come in, so we thought we'd just try and catch you.
Oh, quite. Come on in. Have some sherry. Oh, thank you.
Oh, see what you mean about all your goblins.
Yes. How's your father? Oh, he's got a lot on his mind this Christmas, hasn't he? It's nice meeting him, despite all the mishaps. There we are. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Cheers.
That's what we came round for, actually. Not being irrelevant.
What's that?
My father's Christmas present.
Sorry?
The bottle of wine. Fortnum and Mason delivered it yesterday morning. I hope you don't mind us asking him to deliver it to you, but weren't exactly sure when it would arrive and didn't want to risk him spotting it. And tumbled it straight away.
Bottle of wine. Being a collector, well, a fanatic, really, when it comes to his wine. Oh, he's been after this particular one for God knows how long.
It's a real stroke of luck that we found it, really. It's Chateau Chevening Merceau, 1924. Incredibly rare.
He's got his 60th birthday coming up on the 28th, so it's a sort of big combined present for the two. Oh, it's amazing, really, isn't it? To think of a bottle of wine that's 10 years older than your father.
It's amazing to think of a bottle of wine that cost you 850 quid.
Oh, you don't have to keep shouting about the price.
Oh, I'll just get it for you.
on.
Victor, that very expensive bottle of wine that was sent to us by Great Aunt Joyce yesterday, it wasn't from Great Aunt Joyce and it wasn't for us.
Not from Great Aunt Joyce, but instead of the card, lots of love.
The card was from her. The wine was from a very expensive place in London. It belongs to Patrick and Pippa, and the couriers left it in our house for safe keeping. It cost £850. It's been perfectly preserved for over 60 years. And you've just poured the last drops in the bottle and squeezed.
Right. Well, you better go in and apologise. And I'll go and rest my neck on a railway line. What are you doing?
I'm going to fill it up again and stick the cork back in. A thing like this, nobody ever drinks it. You put it down in a cellar and just look at it. Now, with a bit of luck, nobody will notice the difference. Oh, fucking thing! Give me the funnel out of that drawer.
What are you doing now?
I'm sorry to be so long. We couldn't quite remember where we'd put it.
Oh, fair enough. Now, guard that with your life.
Don't worry.
Now, we won't keep any longer because I'm sure you're ready for your bed.
Yes, yes.
Thanks for the sherry.
Oh, not at all. A pleasure.
And Merry Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas to you too. Good night.
Good night.
If you do believe in God, I'd say now's the time to start saying your prayers.
Today is the last Sunday that I shall stand before you as the incumbent priest of the parish of St. Luke's. No exaggeration to say that this is one of the saddest days of my life. And yet, as I look around the faces of you here before me, I'm only too well aware that there are those amongst you whose burden of grief is far, far greater than mine. To all of you, I send my fondest thanks, with my sincere assurances that as I make my way to pastures new, from the world of holy orders to the world of multinational, industrial, plastics, conglomerates, I shall continue to hold dear all those timeless virtues of benevolence, compassion, sensitivity, and all that... Duncan, how are you? I'm in the middle of a sermon at the moment. Are you at the office? Yes, I will, as soon as I'm through.
Are you the postman?
Sorry? Oh, thank you.
Adam.
Mrs. Burrows, I just wanted to, the other day, I just wanted to say that the things that I said at the time, I was just,
It's still wobbling about out there.
What is?
That tree outside Mrs. Aylesbury's opposite. Got very badly weakened in the storm. And now the kids have been playing lumberjacks, trying to get it to go through her upstairs window. They phoned the Parks Department 5 times, but it seems the phones are all still off. I've never known a Christmas like it.
Yes, it hasn't been the happiest on record. Anyway, I suppose if it teaches us something, it teaches us to be thankful and not to go about... What am I doing with this? I went downstairs for a book. I've just about had enough of you, matey. I have straight.
Victor, you are not to put his head down the toilet again.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. I met the Reverend Croker again today. You know Pippa's father? Says they're laying on some special dinners for the homeless at Christmas down the community centre. Give them a decent meal for once in a year. I said I'd go along and give them a hand. Help with the washing up or something.
You'll miss your Christmas dinner.
We could have it at tea time. It's not that big a deal. It's only a few hours. Do something worthwhile this year for once in my life.
Oh, so I'm to spend Christmas morning alone now, am I?
Oh, my goodness. Look, what if I was the Pope? I mean, you wouldn't see me at all then, would you? I mean, what happened to goodwill to all men?
And that's from Mr. and Mrs. Burkett. Send all their love and best wishes.
They've been spending their money on.
It's a shame you wouldn't have a tree in the house. Not the same without a tree, is it? Always have a tree, even if it's only a little one.
Yes.
Oh dear. I did tell them you wanted one, but that was before the, better be running along, I suppose. Got a few more calls to make. So you won't be having your dinner till this evening now, then?
No.
Still, give you more time. I must say I thought that was a very generous gesture. Not like Victor at all. Well, not like any husband, really. Giving up his Christmas day to go down that drafty old community centre. Pity a few more can't be bothered. Right. Oh, gloves. It's turned really chilly out there now. Forecast said we might have some snow tonight. Well, bye-bye, Margaret. See you soon. Merry Christmas, and thanks for the sherry.
Yes. Bye, Jean, and thank you.
There we are. It's the last of the stripes, Victor. If anyone wants more.
Right. Very good.
Waiter.
Is everything okay for you?
Can you tell me the time at all?
Oh, no, I can't actually. I didn't put my watch on this morning.
2:51 and 2 seconds precisely.
Is it? Is it? Good.
2512. 2512 in the year of our Lord 1990.
Yes. Something to think about there.
We've lost the ability to tell time for ourselves, you see. It's all done with clocks these days. It takes away all the skill. Squinting at quartz analog watches. measuring the sun's passage across the firmament. Not many people left can actually tell the time anymore. Not many of us left. 2:51 and 39 seconds.
So, if you want any more gravy, then
I don't mind waiting, Mr. Meldrew. I don't mind waiting one little bit.
Good. That's the ticket then.
Thank you very much indeed, Mrs. Rutland. You've been tremendous. Now, Merry Christmas to you and all the family. Bye to you. Victor, I think we cracked it. Everyone gone out there?
Yes, they've all gone except one. A gentleman called Mr. Starkey. He doesn't seem too keen on going just yet. He said he doesn't mind waiting.
Wait for what?
Armageddon, apparently, which he seems to think will be at 8:20 this evening, in 15 seconds.
I'll get this place vacated by 4 o'clock, or the council will be done with like a ton of bricks. Tell him to go on down to the Sally Army Hall like everyone else.
Yes, I did try and explain that, but he's...
Yeah?
He's got a machine gun.
Pardon me?
He's got a machine gun. I didn't like to ask him where he got it from, but he says it's very useful for getting a seat on the bus. The thing he said was that he wants us to get him a set of new clothes, because he says he can't possibly meet the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse without a clean shirt.
Tell him to go away and stop being so silly.
Right. What about the machine gun?
It's only a toy, isn't it? Obviously. Tell him I've got to lock up and be out of here in 10 minutes.
Right.
There's our white Christmas after all, then. Very seasonal.
I'm not sure I'm getting through to him, I'm afraid. He seems quite pleased with the new set of clothes, but he doesn't seem quite ready to leave the building just yet.
Say, what the devil does he think he's playing at? I wonder if you ought to call the police.
It had crossed my mind.
You go back in there and keep him talking, and I'll see if I can get through to someone at the station.
That's all right, Reverend. You can put that down. I don't mind waiting. things I hate most about modern civilization is you're driving along in your car, right? Driving at the wheel of your car, and there's this van in front of you, and the back's open. And there's this guy sitting there on a pile of sacks, eating grapes, and spitting the pips at your windscreen. I can't stand it when that happens. It makes my blood boil.
Oh, yes, I know.
Absolutely, absolutely terrible thing to do to anyone. What time is it now, Mr. Stark?
Time now? 6:46 and 39 seconds.
What exactly are we waiting for?
The vials of wrath, Mr. Meldrew. The final conflict against the mother of harlots and abominations.
Right.
In an hour and a half from now, a multitude of frogs shall spring forth from the mouths of false prophets.
Yes, I expect so.
And then, the miracle of deliverance. By 9:23, the water of life shall proceed forth from the throne of the Lamb, and the day of the Lord shall be a...
What's that?
Someone breaking in. It might be the police.
Don't either of you move a muscle.
Anyone at home?
Pippa, don't come in.
Dad, where the hell have you been? What's happening?
Get back out. He's got a gun.
Who has?
Close the door behind you. You'll sit and wait with us, won't you?
Have you any idea what time it is? It's snowing like mad out there. They'll both freeze to death. Look at them.
Time now, 6:48, precisely.
Pippa, don't argue with the gentleman.
He won't hurt you. I've seen him in the park feeding the squirrels. Now, come on. Put that thing down and we can all go home. Do you want a smack around the head?
Not really.
Give it here then.
How are you feeling? Still edgy? Would you like me to mash you up a Valium in a mince pie?
8:20's been and gone. I wonder what happened to the mother of harlots of abominations.
Have we missed Cilla Black, or is it on tomorrow?
I wonder where he did get that gun. Said he got it for Christmas. Poor sod. Christmas. Well, he had his faith. Makes you wonder what to believe in. What's out there? Who's listening?
What are you waffling on about?
That little boy whose father was blown up in the car crash. How do you make children like that understand? Some people pray to God, some write to Father Christmas. Suppose it comes to the same thing in the end, all the good it does. And see why people like Crook want to pack it in.
It stopped snowing out there. Well, they said it wouldn't come to much. Now, I know we said, we agreed about not giving each other anything for Christmas. So don't start moaning, right? But happy Christmas anyway.
Oh. Phew. I don't know. I mean, I wasn't... Oh. What are you going to buy me a new watch for?
Well, you can throw that other thing away and stop trying to guess the time.
Well, I suppose I might as well confess.
What's that?
I've done the same thing. I bought myself a new watch as well. I'm sorry, but we did. I mean, didn't we?
Yes. Yes, we did. Right. I think I'll turn in now. Don't know about you.
Yes. Nothing to stay up for now.
There we are, Ted. There's 2 more to come from upstairs, and that's the lot. Can you manage those, Victor?
Yes, thanks.
Oh, God. We've had some Christmases, but this must rank as the most depressing ever.
Yes. Hasn't been very lucky for you, has it? But then for others, of course, it's been a different story. You heard about that woman's husband, the one that works in your local video store.
Oh, yes, that was terrible. Compared to a tragedy like that.
No. Since then. Oh, you haven't heard?
Heard what?
Well, he came back the night before last.
What are you talking about?
Well, apparently, when he left the other week, he took an early flight out to Germany or wherever, parked at the airport, and someone stole his car. Went out joyriding in it and hit a petrol tanker, and the whole lot went up. Naturally, they thought it was his body. And, of course, with the phones being down all week, he couldn't phone home or anything, so... Can you imagine? After all that poor girl's been through, suddenly just turning up on the doorstep again like that. Oh, Newbury fruits.
Melville. A nice Christmas.
Well, that's how it's over, I suppose. How about you?
Quite fun, wasn't it, love? Quite fun. On Christmas Day, especially.
Oh, yes, there's your father, all right. I expect he's glad to be shot of it all. Characters like that one.
Oh, he's fine. Seen worse than that over the years.
Once he'd had his turkey and Christmas pudding, he was fine. We were fine. Everything was fine. Until the moment came for us to present him with his bottle of Chateau Chevigny Merceau. If you can cast your mind back, Mr. Meldrew, this was the bottle of extremely rare vintage Plonk, which we paid £850 for. 850 smackaroos of hard-earned cash. Do you remember? Imagine then our not unnatural surprise when, just as we were delicately sliding the 1924 classic from its box, the cork suddenly took it upon itself to fly, unsolicited, up my father-in-law's nose. And something closely resembling carbonated cat's urine started dribbling down the sides of the bottle.
See, actually, what happened in fact...
Still, we can't stand around here chatting all day, can we, Mr. Meldrew? You better wave goodbye to your garden gnomes.
Actually, I think there's still a couple to come from upstairs before we...
No, I was telling you. You'd better wave goodbye to your garden gnomes. Darling? Right, I think we can hand it in now. Happy New Year, Mr. Meldrew.
That was from Great Aunt Joyce. I told her it had virtually cleared up, but her hearing's not too good. Has he taken them? What was all that racket a little while ago?
No, nothing very much. The truck backfired a bit, that's all.
I heard smashing noises. I thought that tree had finally gone over into Mrs. Aylesbury's. It was looking very wonky when I went out there. Do you want a cup of tea?
Well, as we're probably out of strychnine, it'll have to be PG Tips.
Looks like you've got a tree in the house after all, then, Mr.
They say I might as well face the truth, but I'm just too long in the tooth. I started to deteriorate, and now I've passed my own sell-by date. Oh, I am no spring chicken, it's true. I have to pop my teeth into chew, and my old knees have started to knock. I've just got too many miles on the clock, so I'm a wrinkly, crinkly, set in my ways. It's true that my body has seen better days, but give me half a chance and I can still misbehave. 1 foot in the grave, 1 foot in the grave, 1 foot in the grave. They say I might as well face the truth, but I am just too long in the tooth. So I'm an OAP and we mean, but I'm not yet quite gone to sea. I may be over the hill now that I have retired, fading away, but I'm not yet expired. Clapped out, run down, too old to say, 1 foot in the grave.
Sorry, Mom? Oh, right. She wants to attack all your men in Japan with 2 dice from Mongolia.
Where's a sooty egg cup?
Oh, sorry.
Double 4.
Double 4 to beat this time, Mum. Oh, hang on a minute. She's dropped her dice in the Germaline. Have you got it now? Right. No. He got a double 4. Yes. Double 5.
What a surprise. How very convenient. I never have guessed.
What's that supposed to mean?
How do we know what she's doing, sitting over there in Kettering with her own board and counters? This is the way the Third Reich started.
With a sooty egg cup?
She's conquered more countries since the Archers finished than Hitler did in a lifetime.
No, it's nothing, Mum. Just Victor coughing up an opal fruit. You want to go into the kiln and wipe him off the board?
Don't encourage her.
Awful when someone's a bad loser.
I know.
Who's a bad loser? You wrap up and get on with your knitting. Right, one army left. 5.
5. 6.
Well, that's that then. That's me blasted off the board for the third game running by the Allied forces of Mini Crun. Why not bother?
Right, it's my turn, Mum. Hang on while I get the... Oh, right. He's just going to the loo now.
So when's he due to have his leg off?
Friday morning. All being well. Glad to see the back of it. 7 weeks with that monstrosity.
Oh, someone's written something on it. I can't quite read it.
Nothing of any importance.
West Ham Wonkers. What's that made of?
Let's go and get some ice.
That was when he fell asleep in the park last Saturday afternoon. There was an obscene drawing of Salman Rushdie on his shin. But it came off with some lemon pledge.
It's been a real episode, hasn't it?
Oh, what with one thing and another. How anyone can break their leg buying a shirt in Millets is beyond me. But after about the first 3 weeks, he did just about manage to get used to it. You know, till the itching started. Drove him totally mad for 4 or 5 days. He had fuse wired down it, God knows. In the end, it got so bad, we had to go back up the hospital to get some expert advice.
And that's when they found it.
Doctor said it was one of the rarest things he'd ever known. For someone to have an ant's nest down their plastic eye. There was no question about it. You could see them all scuttling in and out of the flies on his underpants. I just put it down to the hot weather, you know. Anyway, we put a blob of nip on the fleshy part of each of his thighs, and that seemed to do the trick for him. But I tell you, Jean, never again.
Mm. So, you think it's a good moment yet?
Sorry? Oh, yes. When he comes in again, ask him now.
Right.
Sounds as if she's fallen asleep in there again. I think I'll ring back later. So, anyhow, Jean, how's it all shaping up? Have you found anyone yet to play that other part in your nativity production?
Not yet, no.
Look at this. Half a bloody rainforest in here. The ideal Christmas gift. This superb reproduction 200 years old antique commode. What they use for toilet paper, the Dead Sea Scrolls.
As a matter of fact, we were wondering